I'm gonna start with my current life. I'm kind of just moving about right now. Um, I just got a job, which I just got hired at my job at Taco Bell with and Fairlane Mall. I used to work in the one in Westland when I used to live out there, but I see that now that I'm going to Henry Ford College, that Fairlane and Henry Ford College are like right next to each other, so it makes sense, right? I live day to day in Detroit, Michigan, over on off Joy Road. I live with my mom and my stepfather and my siblings. It's about six of us in a household. It's pretty hard, but we keep moving every day. We try to do as much as we can to survive. I have a job. Everyone else is trying to get a job. My mom, my stepdad, even my brother, who's 2 years younger than me. And I wake up in the morning. I think about what I have to go do, all the things that I have planned in the day. I make that list and I go out and do what I have to do. So I set things at progress and how much progress I'm making in those situations, and I move up from there. I guess a lot of barriers in that would be how am I gonna make it to school? So now I'm going to school. I got my books. I got everything I need. I guess the bus system, because I have no car, I have to take the bus system to get to work and to school, and it's like I have to think about how I'm going to get the money for that. But now that I got the job, I can maintain that income, but I also have to wait a certain day to get that income. So that's one of the barriers for sure. The motivation level is a big thing too. In my household, my mom is, she's an awesome mother. She takes care of her kids as much as she can, but it's not like she's pushing for me to go to college. It's more of like, just do as best as you can. And there's no real motivation for me at home. So I always have to look into myself to understand that I want to be a person to succeed. I want to have the ability to go out there and do what I have to do and do what I want to do and become someone that helps, not just sits around on his butt all day. And so that is a definitely big barrier to me, not having that support. But I do have like my mentors, my mentees who help me out, like Mr. West and Mr. Lee. I hope to help get them together someday. But that's definitely something that's motivated me to move forward, is having those people in my life that shows me that it's possible. And because it's possible, I understand that I can get it. So I use that motivation to go out there and do what I have to do as a person to succeed in life. So that is definitely one way I get over my barriers in a way. I guess another thing, because there are so many barriers, there's also the location. There's so much stuff that's happening around me that could derail me from what my current state and what I'm doing, and it's big. Murder, robbery, someone down the street just got broken into. Those type of things happen. They happen everywhere, not just where I live at. But that type of stuff can kind of get you in a mood where it's like, I don't know, should I move out from this place? Where should I go? What should I do? But I'm already in what I'm in. I'm already in Henry Ford. I'm already got my job. I have to push through it. It's something that you can't just leave. You can't run away from. And plus I was born in this city. I was born on these streets. I see these people every day. So I have to understand that, this is where I am and I have to keep moving. So that's definitely another barrier. Now, barrier. Now, what I want to do in my future beyond getting past these barriers, I'm going into Henry Ford for chemical engineering. So it's a big field. It's definitely, I guess, the world-class engineer. So there's a lot of places I can step my foot into the door, and it's like, I don't know exactly what I want to use that for yet. But I've been working in food industry, and people think like, well, what does chemical engineering have to do with food industry? Actually, it has a lot to do with food industry. The stuff that you eat, the stuff that goes through your body that's processed, the chemicals that are put into that food, it's like it's important, and people don't really think about it, that there's probably unhealthy chemicals in the food that you eat every day. And so that's something that I've been thinking about a lot, like going into chemical engineering and getting a job where I'm helping with chemicals inside of food to make it healthier and not more just like, I guess, not healthy, where people are getting sick or people are getting, fat or anything of that, type of nature. So that's definitely some of my future aspirations. I'm probably still going to be living in Detroit because I definitely know that there is a lot of potential in Detroit, in Detroiters and Detroit alone. And the youth that is growing up, people that are my generation and my brothers and sisters that are younger than me coming up, all have this future that they can aspire for or aspire to, get to. And I want to be here to show them that it is definitely possible to make it in Detroit, to be able to do what you want to do, to be able to go to school, go to work, get a job, get a car, all these things that are like in your future prospect to become, you can do that. And so I want to be that living, breathing, statue that shows that this is possible. So that's definitely something that I know I'm going to be here in the future. All right. Well, first, to start off, why chemical engineering? So there was a lot of forms of engineering. One, I knew engineering is what I wanted to go to. I love doing hands-on stuff. I like getting my hands dirty. I like being out there in the field. And engineering was just one of those things that was exactly out there. So I thought, well, yeah, engineering is definitely one. But when I started coming up, I thought it was mechanical. Cars is amazing. We're in Detroit. We're always going to have cars. Mechanical engineering sounded like the way to go. But as destiny, as people think, has brought to me, in my 9th grade year, I met a teacher, my biology teacher. His name is Mr. Segrist. He got me into a lot of different things. He put me into a lot of different positions that I never thought I was going to be in. I was an ambassador for my school. I was going out to Grand Rapids, going to different colleges and promoting youth voice is what we were doing. And then one day we just happened to go to Wayne State and watched a chemistry demonstration. It was so interesting to me. It was like seeing magic for the first time, like actual real life magic. So that's what really got me into the chemical type field, because I knew that with chemicals you could do so many things. And when I actually started researching it, I saw how chemical engineering influenced all of our life. And I'm like, well, then definitely I want to be a part of that. So that's what really got me hooked on chemical engineering. So that's why I've definitely been trying to do it ever since, I guess, 9th grade. I guess in a year, something that may be a little bit hard for me, I still think a lot of big transportation stuff might be in the way. I don't live far away from my college. Of course, I could bike there and all the time and stuff like this. But as history proves it, the winter time will come around. I can't bike anymore. And then I'm going to have to figure out the bus system. It's going to be cold. Standing at a bus is tiresome. Not having a car. All these issues that could be coming away with transportation. It's definitely going to be a big thing as years coming. Not even just next year. It's going to be the year after that, So I'm going to have to find a way to toughen up and go through that process and not lose faith in everything that's actually going on around me. Besides that, I think everything's kind of covered in the next year to come, because I have my teacher promise for school, so I'm not really worried about the money. I still have work. That's another big thing. I'm still gonna have to be working and going to school at the same time. So learning how to balance that with time management and with the bus system at the same time will also be challenging. So that's the only thing that I can kind of see in my way in a year coming, but I definitely can find ways to push through it. So math and science is the big thing. And I'm gonna tell you this exactly as plain as possible, as truthful as possible. I love math and I love science, but I am not the best at math and not the best at science. So when I started off in high school, I had all A's, all A's 4.0, good student, grades was looking good, attendance looking good. And then I started to progress inside of my 10th grade year, still looking good, 11th grade year. That's when it kind of got a little tricky. And then it was kind of thinking like all this math that is coming my way. And in my field, math is big. It's literally everything. Like I'm going to be having so many classes that deals with this, which I understand because math is used throughout your life with everything, with anything you do. But I knew that it was going to be a big thing for me. So even though I am not the best at math, which I know people who know math way better than me, but I would work as hard as I can to complete it and do it the best as I can. And learning it is amazing. Learning how numbers work and it's just like crazy. Like when you get to start learning math, it's just like a lot of stuff starts to come to you when it gets to working and your brain gets to moving. That is like really big for me. Like learning those new things, learning this ability to get it, to be there. And science is also big. I love science. Science is like, it works with chemical engineering a lot, like all the science that goes into things, how things work. Technically, yeah, I guess you say just like the science of the universe, like learning about what's going on around us. So science is just like something that I always think about. I'm really good at science. I actually don't remember ever failing a science test in my life either. So that's, yeah, I love math and science. All right, well, 10 years from now, as I can see it, I'm working to, I'm working in some form of chemical engineering field. I have my own place, and if I were to ever come back, because as a person being born, I had no father in my life, no real father figure. My mom has 7 to 8 children. I am the oldest out of that 8, and always had these stepfathers in my life that have been coming to me. So it's always been hard. I've been in a household with predominantly females. My mom and my auntie, my grandmother, and my cousins were mostly all female. Growing up without that father figure in my life kind of create that, I guess, man aspect of, being strong, or like being able to hold myself up through high school or through middle school or anything like that. I would come back to people, or come back to students, and tell them that it is possible. That even if you don't have that support system, even if you don't have that rock that's holding you up, or that mentor or someone that has you there, you have to make it into yourself, have it into yourself, that ability to overcome, to go beyond what you want, or set that bar and go over that bar, like have that stepping stone of yourself, have that in yourself, because you have to want it. It's your life, it's your future. You have to go grab it. So even if you don't have those people in front of you that are pulling you up, you have to pull yourself up. You have to rise to the occasion for yourself to succeed. And you have to have that drive, that amazing drive, to be able to wake up in the morning and be like, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna go accomplish. I'm gonna go set my day with that. And I'm big on that, because I haven't always had the support system, and to be where I am right now today, I can see how even if I didn't, I'd still be here, like I'd still want my success to happen. I'd still want everything in my life that's going right now to be progressing, and not just sitting there, just resting on a bench. I want to succeed, and I would love all the youth to understand that, succeeding is possible for them, and I want them to succeed. Okay. Success to me is being able to wake up in the morning and understanding that you're living. So I guess living and actually just, I guess living and breathing, you'd say, is two different things. So breathing means you're waking up, you're breathing, it's just, it's another day. You're just kind of just cruising along through the day. Living is actually going out and doing things that's improving your life, such as maybe making a new going to work today and making money and getting a raise, or going to school, overcoming that test that was like so hard, that's been beating at you, but you've been studying forever, and you finally got past it. You've been in study groups, sat with everyone, and now you finally get that understanding of what you're going through, and now you've passed. So that is a success. Success to me is getting that, taking that extra step, taking that extra mile to actually achieve something that you wanted, that you had to get through, that was kind of in your way of going past where you needed to go. So that's also living, because if you're just staying home doing nothing and sitting down and nothing's happening, if you don't take that one step forward, then nothing's gonna happen. So taking that one step forward in itself is succeeding, because now you're moving towards your goals. So that is what success is to me. Nope, that's all I got.